All right, we are here at a Seattle Regionals with Michael, who has just won a mat in a Edison side event, playing a very spicy deck, which I'm pretty sure this has been like your baby for a while, right?
Yep.
Like,
Been cooking it for a couple of years.
and it's Moja?
Moja Cat.
Okay, cool. And let's do the deck profile first, and then I'll ask you the matchups and a couple other questions.
Sure.
Cool, let's see it.
So in the main, obviously the namesakes, Moja and Rescue Cat. And Summoner Monk. The main idea of the deck is to use Rescue Cat to go search out 2 level 3 or lower beasts, usually to make synchros. Moja is a card that when it is destroyed by battle, you get to return a level 4 beast monster from your discard to your hand. Obviously, it brings back the Rescue Cat. There's some combos that we'll get into that with a little bit later. Summoner Monk's here because it fetches out your Rescue Cat. As far as things that the Rescue Cat can go get, you have 3 Arabellums. They're great beat sticks, they're tuners, and they hand rip people. GD Crazy Beast, this is how you make 6s with your Arabellums. This card, when you destroy a monster by battle, you banish it. So it's great against a
it's
lot
like
of things.
Go format technology over there.
It's great against Dandy, great against Sangan. There's a million cards that this thing runs over. It dodges bottomless.
It's 13 attack, I think, right?
14.
14, okay.
So it's right at the bottom.
That's nice.
We have Rykos, and obviously alongside the Rykos, we have Super Hamsters. You can't get the Super Hamsters off of the Rescue Cat, unfortunately, but you can use the Rykos to make 5s. You can also use them alongside Summoner Monk to make Mistworm. Obviously, the hamsters here can get the Rykos. They can also get the Arabellums if it's like the end of a turn. You'll be able to make a synchro off of it.
Yeah, Black Rose.
But then they also conveniently can get the Moja. So when somebody's doing a chain attack, they attack into the hamster, you can set the Moja, and then when they hit the Moja, you get back your hamster.
That's
So
cool.
you can actually loop the Moja.
That's cool. Can Moja add back Moja?
Moja cannot. It has to be a level 4 specifically beast.
Oh, got it.
So it only gets back hamster and cat.
Got it.
Post board, I have some Wangus that I can get back as well.
Nice.
Now moving away from the beast package, we have sort of just my general sort of stun package of 3 spies and a descendant. Just good value cards. Leaving behind big chunky bodies that I can synchro with Arabellum. I have 2 Caius to tribute the bodies off of this and the hamster. 2 Sidras, again to create special summons off of my cat. 1 Gorz just because Gorz is good. 1 Gale because Gale's good and also makes synchros.
Yep.
And that's it for the monsters.
Cool.
I'm going to skip over to the spells really quick because I want to get into the final bit of Moja Tech, which is my favorite card, Creature Swap. So one of the great things you can do with Rescue Cat is you can go and fetch your Arabellum and your Moja, and then Creature Swap them the Moja that's in attack position.
Yeah.
Run over the Moja, get back your cat that you just used, and then synchro with the monster.
Okay.
So they take a ton of damage, you get cards back, and generally it's backbreaking.
Nice. This is more of a cat deck than I realized, because I think I've seen you in the past play the other Moja support cards. You're choosing not to play them this time around?
A long time ago, this started as a Moja forward deck. It's more of now like a cat synergy deck around Moja, but Moja's still very much the star.
I see, cool.
I got the normal heavy, 2 pots, brain control and mind control, again, stealing stuff, synchroing. 2 Book of Moons. I've got the full spy and hamster set, so these are great, and they're also just great in the meta right now.
Yeah, right.
And that's it for
Gigaplant.
the spell lineup. And then for traps, Call the Haunted brings back the Rescue Cat and whatever else.
Yeah.
Starlight Road. One of the biggest crutches of Rescue Cat is most of the time they're bottomlessable. So if I go double Arabellum,
that's rough.
They bottomless me by Starlight Road and they lose the game.
Yep.
Torrential, Judgment, Mirror Force, 2 bottomlesses, and 2 compulsory, kind of normal heavy back row stuff. I'm really looking to kind of simplify the board state and then just play like reasonable monsters and kind of force a real game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. A couple comments and a couple questions actually.
Sure.
I think that's something really cool with this deck is that you can do TT with Rescue Cat Priority, right?
Yes.
Blow up the field and open it up for the double Arabellum push.
Yep.
That's a nasty play. And then also, can you just comment on why you decided to not really play the Moja stuff anymore? Was it too bricky or not consistent, or what was it?
The Moja stuff at the time was a lot more sensible because the 2500 beater was really strong
Yeah.
in the meta. Like that was kind of like when I was doing that, it was around the time where E-Heroes were like 100% of the meta, and like Ab Zeros were great. And so you could just go into the 2500 beater Moja, crash with the Ab Zero, and then at the time I was playing Kinkabio to be able to bring back the Moja and bring back the
Spicy,
thing.
yeah.
So you would just crush everything that they play and just outclass them on size.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just not what the meta does anymore.
Yeah.
And so now I just use Moja as a little grind engine to go along with my super grindy kind of Moja stun deck.
Yeah, very cool. Okay.
So that's it for the main board. Moving on to the extra deck. We're playing Sidras, so obviously we're going to play a Fortress Dragon. Armor Arm actually comes up strangely a lot because you can make it off of a cat with Moja plus Airbellum.
I feel like all the top decks these days are playing Armor Arm OTK. Like a lot of them seem to be revolving around
You
that.
can definitely do the normal Colossal OTK. Just very great card.
Yeah.
Your 5s are Android and Catastor, pretty standard. You're making that off of Airbellum and Raikou. For our 6s, more standard stuff, Goyo and Brionac. You're making 6s with the DD Crazy Beast and Airbellum. For 7s, we have a few. We have Black Rose, Airbellum, and Arcanate. These are making off of your what is this face? The Spies and the Hamsters and your I'm forgetting his name. This guy, Summoner Monk. And then the Spies and the Summoner Monk are spellcasters, so you're actually able to make the Arcanite. So most of the time you're going to go into this, blow up whatever they have, and just leave a chunky body. If you're in hand rip mode, you can make the Airbellum, and then you can go plays like Summoner Monk into Cat into double Airbellum, make Airbellum, and then double hand rip.
Yeah.
So big value there. And then for 8s, 2 Stardust, you play Starlight Road. Colossal Fighter for the Colossal Fighter OTK, just do a card. This blows up frog stuff. Thought Ruler for life gain.
Yeah.
8s you're making with your Sidra and your Airbellums.
Yeah.
You can also do Airbellum, Moja plus your 4 stars, so Summoner Monk, Spy, etc.
Yep.
So super easy to make 8s. And then finally you have your Mistworm. Mistworm's going to be your Summoner Monk plus Raikou and Airbellum.
Cool.
So you have great ways to make every single rank, and you have a great toolbox to be able to hit pretty much any kind of card that you're worried about.
Before you move to the side deck, can I ask a couple more questions about the main?
Sure.
I don't think I saw Cold Wave. Is that right?
No cool.
Do you have any thoughts about Cold Wave and True Nade in this deck?
Those make a lot more sense in sort of like hyper aggressive versions of like Cat. The way that I play Cat is a lot more grindy. I'm really looking to sort of just disrupt key pieces, like simplify the game state, and then just grind people out.
Yeah.
And Cold Wave really hurts for that. True Nade really hurts for that. I don't have a lot of ways to abuse True Nade outside of maybe picking up a Call of the Hunted that brought back a cat.
Yeah.
But after I've catted twice, I'm out of targets anyway.
I see. And then another thing I always see people wondering about in this kind of deck is like how many pop adders to run. Like you like 2?
Yes.
Have you tried 3 before?
I've tried 3. 2's where I like to be at. You don't quite get through your deck as heavy as like other Avarice decks do. So you want to have enough that you can see it, but 3 is just too many.
Yeah.
Usually you'll play 1 pot of Avarice per game.
I see.
Other than that, it's kind of more of a dead card.
I see.
So you're usually using it to like refresh your synchros and then refresh your cat targets.
Yeah.
And so like I said, you're very rarely getting past the first one.
Makes sense.
So
Cool.
So moving on to the side deck. We're going to start with the creatures. A lot of the stuff is sort of just hosers. I have a 3rd Caius. This is just for general dark stuff and when I have like bad cards to take out. I have 2 King Tiger Wangus. These are good against plants and frogs.
Yeah, that's cool.
So again, it's another beast that Moja can get back as far as the grindiness. It's a good chunky monster and it just really kills a lot of decks.
And they can't call Prio with that, right? So they can't even substitute. It just instantly kills it.
Yeah,
Cool.
that deck crushes frogs.
Yeah.
I have some Consecrated Lights against all the dark stuff, Fire Turbo, E-Hero, stuff like that. 2 Massive Restricts, again for frogs and Monarch decks. I have 2 Iron Walls, again sort of banish heavy strategies.
Yeah.
This is good against zombies, it's good against E-Heroes, it's a great card in sideboard. 2 lightning imprisoning mirrors. These are great against your Lightsworn decks, which the meta is usually pretty heavy over here with Lightsworns. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people here
these
who play
come in
Light
handy.
Sworns.
One trap to shoot, because sometimes it reads you in the game. 2 back row removals, and a second.
Oh, you weren't maining MC. You're on a heavy.
I'm on 1 heavy, and that's it.
I see.
Yep. So that's it for the sideboard.
Interesting. Have you thought of oppression anywhere?
I have thought about oppression. The problem with oppression is that it shuts down like basically all of my own engines.
Yeah.
So I think we'd be looking at a completely different deck if it went oppression
sure.
route. But yeah.
And then I think you told me that last time you won in a pod with this deck as well.
Yep. This deck's 2 for 2 here in Washington. I won a hamster mat the last regionals I was at. Pretty much the exact same builds. The only changes were I had 2 D-prisons instead of 2 compulsives.
Cool. And then do you remember your matchups from today?
Yep, I played straight Lightsworn round 1. I played Lightsworn Fairies round 2, and then I played Diva Hero round 3.
Okay. And last question, any card that generally overperformed today or underperformed today?
Obviously, the Moja Cat was a hero. That came up multiple times.
Yeah.
We did get to do the creature swap Moja trek. The compulsives were actually extremely relevant today over the D-prisons.
Yeah.
They were great at breaking synchros out of the hero deck.
Yeah.
Just generally disrupting the Lightsworns, keeping me from getting OTK'd.
Yeah.
Game 3, the Compulse won me the game by compulsing a Brio that was getting brain control.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
For sure.
Cheers.